Una welcome once again to another of my tutorial. I tell una every time say any video where they shoot will better pass the other one. Any video where they shoot will better pass the other one. This one and another one. Now that they drop so. So what I want to show now, this one a full shoulder. In case you want so full shoulder and you find how you will take so your full shoulder, no worry again. Try this pattern I want to show now. It will work very fine for you. So what I want to do now, princess that full shoulder lace blouse now I want so now. As you can see the blouse, so the blouse gets sewn. See the blouse, so now this blouse now I want so now. So I already fold my material them down now to explain, give you how I take fold my material where it comes be like this. So see my full shoulder when I get here. My full shoulder now 25 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. I make am 26. But you already know the reason why I add that 1 inch because of the joining of the shoulder and the joining for this down part. And I can make am 26. And now I take get my fabric where I fold so because now I get my front and my back for here. This one on my front and this one on my back. My back now long past my front with 2 inches for zip allowance. So how I take get my material where I can fold them because as it did like this now they unfold and at 2 9 come there like this. How I take get my material where it can do like this before I will shaping my blouse out now I won't tell now. So how you will get your material and your largest part of your body measurements where they do. And as it be so, now blouse now one so and a full shoulder. Even if now off shoulder self where they do, where the blouse they stop now your hip. And as you know your hip big past your bust. Unless if they make for somebody where say the bust big past the hip, then you go use your bust for the measurements. But just know say now the largest part of your measurement now you go use. And for this one they do so now the hip and be the largest part of the person measurement. So what thing I do now the bust now 37. So you go divide your 37 divided by 4 plus 4 inches for sewing allowance. Take note of that one. I always tell now this one. The largest part of your body measurement where they use now. For this one now the hip. Your hip divided by 4 plus 4 inches for sewing allowance. I think I get my front here. So then from my front I can cut my back. Yeah, I can leave 2 inches for my back for zip. So this one now play this one for corner. So make I just quick rule my lines for my bust measurement, then make I come back and explain for them. So I'm not gonna waste on my time. Okay, so as I tell on, I hope so on they see the shock when I don't rule out like this. Because I see and say the white when I do so when I feel say the shock will show. Later on I can see and say nothing come out. But in case you want to understand that white better, let me know so that I go buy paper, brown paper with marker, show you again on how you go to do that one. But man, keep that one for one corner first. Man, focus on this one. So what I do now, from my shoulder to my bust, now 10. My shoulder to my bust, now 10. I can't leave one for the 10. My shoulder to my under bust, now 13 and half. I make am 14. Why I make am 14? We say this half inch when they so maybe the one where I will take join my shoulder together. So let me say I keep up my 13 and half like this now. You see I say half inch there here. So if I join the shoulder here now, 13 and half now it go there. So because of say I calculate I'm join, I put the half inch for here. 13 and half. I can make am 14. Half inch for my sewing allowance. Then my from my under bust to my half cut line, and a half cut line. I just decided say man they put this half cut line because some people they would like to know how to get their half cut line. So from this point now to my half cut line now 3 inches time I add to get my half cut line from my under bust 3 inches. So after that one my full length, as I don't tell on before, my full length at 25 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. That one they very important. I always tell on that one say that 1 inch they very important to put on. So after I can get my measurement like this, take note. My shoulder to bust now 10. I leave on for that 10 inches. Shoulder to under bust now 13 and half. I leave on 14 because of the joining of this shoulder. Then my full length. So after I don't get your measurement like that, what you will need to do now your vertical measurement. This line will be like this. So then you call them vertical measurement, abi. So now the thing I want to demonstrate on how I will get on a shape out for a blouse now. Because now here the major point. Now here all the drama they happen before you go the back. The back, nothing they there. Now here all the things them there. I don't tell you say how to get your fabric or your material unfold. Now your hip, based on saying that the hip 9 big pass. If now your bust 9 big pass, make sure saying that one now you go use. Make sure saying that the side way big pass for your body now you go use divided by 4. plus 4 inches for the person wey get this kind small bust. I get video wey say I still explain further on how to get bigger bust, so go just watch the videos there so that you understand better. I no wan waste much time for this one. So after that one now, my nipple to nipple measurement now, na be this one wey there. So this my first, this na my nipple to nipple measurement be this. Now I go apply it. So my nipple to nipple measurement now I go divide my bust. My bust now 37. I go divide am by 6. So for the thing not to hard you, your bust 37 divide am by 6. Now I wan do so. So I divide am by 6 now. Wetin I go come get here? Divide am by 6. Wetin I get here now? I get 6 plus 1.5. Now it give me 7.5. Your nipple to nipple divide am by 6 plus 1.5. Now you go come give your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. Now you go take get your nipple to nipple measurement. So my nipple to nipple measurement now nipple to nipple measurement now 7.5. 7.5 divided by 2 come give me 3.7. So this 3.7 now plus half inch for sewing allowance. I also want to understand it. I tell you, come back again. Your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So your bust divided by 6. What me I can't get? I can't get 7.5. My bust divide them by 6 plus 1.5. I can't get 7.5. That's 7.5 now. I can't divide them by 2. You can't give me 3.7. So now the 3.7 I can't there now. I can't add half inch for my sewing allowance. Can't make am 4.2. So this half inch I add for you now for my sewing allowance, because I go sew my darts together. So that sewing I go sew together now half inch now I go take sew. So if I go sew that half inch come out, you can't fall back to my normal bust measurement. So after I get that one for here, I'll come down for this one. I'll go minus half inch from this point here, because this one now a different cut. As I tell you now when I start, say this one a princess cut. Now I want to sew. So all the busts they get different ways of getting their own bust measurement. And this princess cut now they always use for full shoulder, because they come out better than the other one for full shoulder. And they always now they always use this one for full shoulder. So after I don't get them plus my half inch for sewing allowance, I can give me 4.2. So from this my bust measurement now, this is my nipple to nipple measurement. How I go to get my under bust measurement? Now to come out half inch from my bust. So I will put in at 3.7. So from my bust now, my nipple to nipple measurement now, I come out half inch to get my under bust. I come out half inch from here to get this under bust, because this your bust big past this under. So you go do that one to get your under bust. Then what I will come do for my hip now, I can put the same measurement what I get for here, which is 4.2. I can put that the same 4.2 for this my hip part here. This my hip part, but the hip part come the way the bust self take arrange. So I can put my measurement for this my hip part. Then I can come up by 3 inches. Come up by 3 inches so that the curve will fit come out better. So as I come up by 3 inches, I'll come over to my shoulder line. Small. I want to make sure say you understand this small. So just pay close attention. So my shoulder line now. So what I will do for my shoulder now, I want try get my princess cut. You know that your princess cut they always fall for your armhole. So the calculation to take get you your exact cut so that you go fall for your armhole. So what I will do now, my shoulder now 14, that be my shoulder measurement. So my 14 divided by 2 now will give me 7. 14 divided by 2 now will give me 7. So now my 7 inches I will come put for here. I will put my 7 inches for here. After I don't put my 7 inches for here, I'll come extend them by 2 inches. Extend them by 2 inches. As I extend them by 2 inches, I'll come from this point now, I'll come down by 5 inches. So as I come down by 5 inches, what I will come do for this 5 inches down now, I will come put my shoulder measurement again for this point. Then come extend them by 2 inches again for this point. So that I don't get there. So after I don't get this measurement now, I will come back to my under bust. So for this bust of 37, the person under bust, the person waist measurement at 31. which means the person use 6 inches take increase from the bust to the under bust na 6 inches. Now be the shape take come out with 6 inches bigger. So after I don't get them like that, wetin I come do for this point now, I will come put 1.5. I will put 1.5. Okay, I will make am 2 inches because this person gets bust small. If na person wey get bust of 35, then if you use 1.5. But this person now gets bust of 37, so 2 inches. From this point, you know say how I take get this point for this under bust here now, I reduce half inch from my nipple to nipple measurement plus half inch for sewing allowance. I just comot that half inch for sewing allowance total from this side take put for here, which means this one now wey there now get your own half inch for sewing allowance. You know if you did the same thing with your nipple to nipple measurement. To me now e be like say the calculation now don plenty for my head. So I dey continue from there. In case you no understand, watch the video again. I try make am easy for now. Now make I always repeat things so that I go easy for now. So from here now to here now, I can make am 2 inches based on the person bust measurement wey I dey work with. The bust na 37 for the person bust, and the person get the distance between the bust and waist na 6 inches. Now I take her because the waist na 31 and the bust na 37. So that one shows say the person get at least the person get bust pass the ones that we no get. So after you can't do it like that. So this point when I rule this line come here for 3 inches now, I will make sure say this is the same length where I get here, which is 4.2. Now I go deep for here 4.2. Rule and come down like this because this your down part, as I always tell on, and this your down part get that shape, that hip shape. Maybe say they make everywhere relax for the hip side. You just balance like say PC stop, all those kind of shape there. Now you go need. So after I don't get my calculation like this, I'll come to now. From this point, this is my first line now. I'll connect this my first line to this under bust like this. Connect them to this under bust like this. So from this under bust now, I can connect them down to this my point for this down like this. Down to this my hip line with this down. For my first line. So after I connect from here to the under bust, from the under bust now, I connect them to this my hip shape there. Then from this point now, I can rule and meet this my shoulder measurement when I get for here. So my shoulder measurement like this. From here to my shoulder measurements like this. Then from this point in there, so you just take them straight. Just take them straight, go there like that. So after I don't get my measurement like this for the side now, I want to focus on the other side. So I want to get your other side from this your nipple to nipple measurement, and then always come down with 0.7. 0.7 after this half inch. 1, 2. Now we call 7. So 0.7. You know reach 1 or you know reach 1 inch. 0.7 now I can carry go up again because the same thing there and the same thing there to get my curve for my princess that now they try to find out. So after I don't come down by 0.7 for this down part, I can connect from this my 2 inches. When I get in, I can connect and put for this first one. Put there like this. Make sure say your hand no straight. Make sure say you get that curve. You know say your breast no they pointy like how they put down. But you know they pointy. Oh, you know they that pointy. They like around like might just end there. So you just do like this. You just connect them. See me, they're gonna make use of this one. I beg no vex, so that's what the matter be. You need to think fast. So if you see now this 1.5 when I dey put there, so and they see I say now there they go mark before. There they go mark. So I clean the line come from the 1.7 because this person bust not be that small bust. So I will use this 1.5. So now 2 inches now I use here. So now the 2 inches now. Now I'll connect from here. Go enter the 2 inches. From here go enter the 2 inches. As I tell you, this place depends on the bust of the person. And this place, if my other video I say explain given now. And this place now will determine the amount of allowance where you go put. And this place now they determine the amount of allowance. If you use your hip, and this place will tell you the amount of allowance. Now person will get bust of 44. You go use 6 or 7 inches extra allowance because This one now, the hip now na 40 and the bust na 37. So na 2 inches now dey comot here as the dart allowance. Then you can use 4 inches. Because if I use that 4 inches, it go still work out when I don dey plus this allowance for this side. I don't want to talk too much so that the thing no go too plenty for your head. So after I don't get this curve like this from here to your under bust from this 0.2 inches, then from here now, this other upper part now, I can connect them, go this second line, go like this. So from this part now, I connect them like this. Make sure say your hand not just go straight. Give you that curve. Try create that curve. You know they hard, you go fit create, and then from there you roll your hand straight like this. Now small, now you go take enter your hand. Just dey do one like that, they go small. So with this calculation, it go dey easier for you to get your curve. I bet you with this calculation I give you so, it go dey easier for you to get your round curve. So just try them. So from this point where you can end now, I can connect them back to this the same hip line when I get for there. So I can connect them back to that point for there. So as I connect them back to that point for there, now I can go over to my final calculation. Final calculation now the bust measurement and the waist and everything, so that you get your accuracy before you start to sew, so that you no go worry you when you don't sew you can't shape again. Just shape everything from here. So my bust now 37 divided by 4 now give me 9.2. 37 divided to get the measurement of this my point that now I want to do now. So as I tell you, 9.2 37 divided by 4 will give me 9.2. So now my 9.2 9 be this one with there. So 9.2 9 be this one with there. So as you can be saying a 9.2 there, you know say here now, so I don't get my nipple to nipple measurement, I can still add half inch for sewing allowance. As I tell you, I add half inch for sewing allowance, and this other side self get your own half inch, because if you sew and come out, oh yeah, no be saying only this one you sew, you see, so this one half inch come out. So half inch here will give me 1 inch. I can put that 1 inch here. Put that 1 inch here. As I put this 1 inch here, I can put extra 2 inches for sewing allowance. This one no dey constant, so this 2 inches, it depends on how you want your allowance to be. You fit make a 2.5 or 3, but me I dey always make use of 2 inches. You fit make your own bigger if you know dey sure of the measurements wey you dey work with. You fit make am bigger, so that if you can't be say tight the person, you go get enough allowance to amend the thing for the person. Because down now, if you know dey sure of your measurement, but me now dey sure of this measurement, so I dey put 2 inches for my sewing allowance. So as I can't get on like that, my waistline now for here, I'm going to do the same division for that side. So I will divide my waist, maybe 31 and divided by 4, going to be 7.7. So I'm going to put my 7.7 for here. 7.7. I'm going to put my 7.7 for here. And as you see, and so this 7.7 what I can put for here now, I can't include there. I always make una understand why I dey put all the calculations, so that it go dey easy for una to know. Here why they make mark like this, so na waist. So I dey let una know say here now na waist. Now be this place right there like so. So as here come be say na waist now, you can see and say I don't put my 7.7. I can't put this waist together. If I leave am for this 7.7, just put my 1 inch for sewing allowance and 2 inches for the sewing allowance, and 1 inch for this joining. I go short my material because my waist never complete. Because I will come out here when I think say I don't calculate join, I don't cut here come out. So what thing I go do to complete my waist measurement? So I get my 7.7 here. These 2 inches when I get here now, I can put these 2 inches for front. These 2 inches for front. So I put these 2 inches for front. I can put that 1 inch when I get for my sewing allowance. That 1 inch I will take join here and join here together. I will put that there. I can put again my final 2 inches for my sewing allowance. I hope so you understand. So now if I calculate from here now, then I can calculate from here to here. You can give me my measurement of that 7.7 from here now to here. If I come out here, come out here, it will give me my 7.7. That be the reason why I decided I'll carry this one come front, so that I no go worry me. So after I don't do like that now, I can come over to my hip measurement now. My hip now are 40 divided by 4. You can't give me 10. When my hip by 4, you can't give me 10. I can't say add the same 1 inch where I come out from here, half inch here, because I will join and go reach the up there. I can't put my 1 inch for front here. Then I'll come put my extra 2 inches for my sewing allowance. Then I'll put my 2 inches for my sewing allowance there. From here now, I'll come get my line go down straight like this. Then after I don't put on like that, for this down part here now, I'll come up by 2 inches. 2 inches. So this 2 inches when I dey come up with now for this up now. For this my total sewing measurement that they put here. So this one now with there, so now my 2 inches for my 2 inches for my sewing allowance. So my 3 inches to get that curve now, it will start from here. This is my main hip, because after I don't join my hip, so now here it go there. Because if I start here now, here if it dey lesser than the 2 inches. So make sure say your curve they start from this your main point and just connect them, come this down like this. And just like you just get your shape like this. If you get French curve, I don't know why they promote these people their market with this French curve, why they promote. So French curve, if you get that French curve, it's easy for you to roll your line. Then from your bust now, connect them to your waist. Connect them to your waist. Then from here now, connect, just draw them straight, come down like this. Because me, I always cut my neck and my armhole when I don't sew finish, so that I don't go miss any calculation. Everything will be balanced according to the way I plan out. Some people will say, why your waist will come big past your bust now? Way be seen a bust now big past waist. Don't forget, say 1.5 inch, 2 inches they come out here, and this one they come out anything. So 2 inches they come out here, this one they come out anything. If I don't come out this one now, everything for here now, this one will come fall back to where it's supposed to be. Now make you see and say it did like this. So no worry about that one. So what I will do now after I don't get my measurement like that now, I can cut them out. Make sure say what they do they correct. So make I confirm my measurement for this measurement. Because it's very important. Say your measurement they correct, your material no they shake. Because sometimes some kind of time when they cut, if you see and say material will go inside and they worry you. No hard, shake the side of the drum. No be magical.
You pause am. Have you talk?
Yeah, talking. Somebody want ask something. Just an interactive class now with this one, so anybody can explain. Maybe this question now will help yourself. So somebody want ask question. Yeah, before I start to talk now, so that it's easier.
I see say you mark when you mark for here. And the same mark you mark for here.
No.
You put half inches for here now.
Yes.
But this exactly this first one.
Now
you see put for here. Now you see put for here.
No, this one now we get half inch extra for here. This one I be the nipple to nipple measurement plus this half here. Now I call it for this side.
Okay, plus this half here, 90 for this side. Okay.
But this measurement when I do here, so not be everybody now they get half inch here. Some people now 1 inch.
Okay.
Now they do for here because it depends on the way the person breast big reach.
Okay.
So if person will get bust of all those spots there. Those
so as here they dip, here they increase.
No, here they increase like that. But to get a better curve, you will feel use 1 inch for person get big bust so that the curve will come out better. Because if I put here inside, the shape of the breast will come out better for people who get big bust. But if you don't get big bust now, let's say here now, just 1.5 inch for no be this type of people that like all those 44, 45 that we won't use breast tube. We use 1.5. So that 1.5 we could use now. You go make sure to say here now, the distance between this bust for this center now I'm not go pass half inch. So you will make an a half inch. But person will get big bust, we pass this one like 40. If you make the distance from here to here now, if you make a 1 inch, that one now will bring out the curve well. It will make the breast and sit well. But if you know see, if you don't want to use that 1 inch, so if you still use this say half inch, you go still come out too. But at some kind of time I dey like use 1 inch so that if you use 1 inch, you go see and say the cup will come out very well. But if you don't use that 1 inch, don't mean say your measurement dey wrong. It still dey right. I just to make you understand why I dey use 1 inch sometimes. But for this case, then when the bust not too big, now half inch now they use. So I hope you don't understand. So continue from where we listen. So now I can shape my side like this. So you dey see and say the shape don't come out. So I don't carve out my bust. Now over to the back. The back now water. They always say on the back now water. I don't need to even show you sir, because now water. So in case now the first time when they see my work, I get other videos. So when I believe say anyone where you watch will help you. Any video where you watch at all from me, it will help you. That one assurance when God don't put. Say any videos when I shoot, so it will help somebody. So this is my underbust now. When I get for this princess cut, they always put notch like this, because this notch now will help you know how to take pad down. But no worry, very soon I will show you how to pad. For now, I'm not saying in the future they grow. Down a shop, they grow, but they see the sign. God they grow us. So for now na gas. Now they use the iron, and that gas now you know they advisable to they use phone for where gas dey. So in case you they use that, make you stop now. You know they advisable to they use phone for where gas dey. So when I don't get better this thing, or in case light dey for my country now, light no dey for now. In case when light dey, I will show now how to pad. So this notch, when I notch here now, they help the padding for you to know say here now the under bust, and you pad go up. If you don't put this notch now, if you carry your pad come here now, it will worry you. It will worry you, definitely it will worry you. So make sure say your notch dey there where the pad. Then this your back, you keep your 2 inches for sewing allowance for your zip. 2 inches when I get for my zip when I dey start. So they see and say now they still bring back. So make sure say everything dey set. So I dey make sure say my 2 inches still dey in place, because it is very important say your 2 inches still dey. Your zip must pass. This one, unless you want put zip for front, then your front na that 2 inches go dey, your back no go get 2 inches. If you want put zip for front, that one if you want put zip for front, but if you say your zip na back in the day, your back will get 2 inches. That 2 inches na for zip space with that. So if you say your zip na front, you want am to dey, then you put am for back. And if you say na front, you want am to dey, you put am for front. Okay. I don't dey talk too much now. I won't go do one kind mistake. So here now, I come connect here now. Since I dey shape the side and I shape this down. So for this my waistline now, this waist I'll come mark here for my waist. Mark here for my waist. Then this up, when there like this now, I'll come mark am like this. Mark am like this. Very easy. Then see this my 3 inches, so I come down from here to here. And from that 3 inches, I'll come rule them down like this. And I'll come comot my blouse. Come out like that, and I come connect from here to that 3 inches. Connect from here to that 3 inches. Put it there. And from here, I come give her that curve. That my princess curve like this. That curve everyone like this. And from here, connect them like this. Very easy. Then you can't cut them out. Anybody get any question? Any question?
Yes.
What do you want to know?
This place now, this center, as how you take get this C.
Nah, I don't think I see na curve now. Because as I don't put the mark there, so this mark now go help me
Man,
to.
the same thing, I don't get the C now.
This mark now go help me to understand where my curve go take come from. So if you mark here and you mark here, then you mark here,
yes,
you go know say to connect and come this point now, you know go just rule and straight. You go get your curve just like this.
like a French tips curve.
If you make am straight sef, you go still come out better, but make sure say your curve come meet up here perfectly. No get any way baby say you struggle to come meet here, because I just mark here. So yeah, in short, now this mark for here, and I go determine how your curve go dey. This your side.
And the underboss.
This your side, yes, and the underboss. Okay. This your side. When I place am like this now, where I come mark here, I can give me this shape. Some people if fit put this cup here, come cut and comot, but you go worry your material go short. So for you not to get that kind of mistake, you not, I for just tell una say just rule this shape come out like this, then you can't comot am. But if you can't rule this shape like this, come out. If I can't rule this shape come out like this now, come I can't tell you say make you come cut and comot. You go worry the material go short. So instead of this shape, better make you divert your curve come here like this, so that it go dey easier for you to understand. Any question? Okay, so I see what I want show on be this. So I get video on how to sew your blouse. If you follow the video on how to sew your blouse, you fit sew this one and understand. I also get video on how to sew your satin for your blouse, so that your work go easy for you. My own work here now just to help. I mean my work. If you want help me sef, you get several ways where you fit help me. You sef you know. So I really appreciate on now. I say thank you very much for coming. Don't forget to subscribe. If you never subscribe and you don't watch my video for the second time, you dey owe me. You dey owe me, and me I know they happy say I dey show. You don't watch me the second time, you don't want subscribe. Subscribe, then share to your friends, then make them say they can't learn. So thank you and stay safe. Bye bye.